Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Miriam Verto with Chicago Partnership for Health Promotion, and this is our VeggieRx program, straight from my kitchen to yours. Welcome. Today is the first session for the season, which will run up until mid-November. If you are a newcomer, if it's your first time joining VeggieRx, welcome to our VeggieRx community. I will be here every other Saturday at 10 a.m. for the English sessions, and then 11 a.m. for the Spanish sessions every other Saturday, and I will be bringing a different recipe each week, so please check it out. The videos will also be saved, so if you don't have time right now or you don't have time at 10 a.m., you can come back and view it. Like I mentioned, each week I will be bringing a different recipe. I also try to incorporate a lot of the produce that we got in our VeggieRx bag. Okay, this week we had a wonderful box, a wonderful bag. It had two types of kale, which the straight kale and the curly kale, and the straight kale is my favorite. It also had zucchini, it had apples, it had pears, it has a pack of asparagus. I mean, it was just fantastic. It was a great box. But if you're looking for something filling, something super tasty, this is a great recipe, okay? So let me start off by going over the ingredients for the recipe. It's chicken Parmesan Zucchini Boats. You're gonna need 4 medium zucchini, 1 pound of ground chicken, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 2 garlic cloves minced, 1 cup of pasta sauce, any type of sauce you like, a 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup shredded mozzarella cheese, and sliced fresh basil for topping, and that's optional. If you don't have it, it's okay. This is gonna be super tasty. Now, I tweaked it a little bit, okay? I didn't have any ground chicken, and I really didn't want to buy it. So what I used is just one of the chicken breasts that I had here. I diced it really fine so that it could so that I could put it in the zucchini bowl just fine. So just, take any piece of chicken that you have, dice it really fine. This also works really great with any leftover chicken that you have, okay? If you have any type of leftover chicken, just chop it up, mince it, throw it in here. It'll be fantastic, okay? But if you don't, then one chicken breast, just dice it really fine, throw it in here. So I threw in the oil. I sauteed it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of the black pepper. And until it was cooked through, and then I added the pasta sauce. Now I use this arrabbiata sauce, pasta sauce, which is a little spicy. They have it at Aldi. It's fantastic though. I really enjoy it. But you can add any type of sauce that you like. If you don't have sauce, you can just dice some tomatoes and throw it in here. I mean, this is a really, really flexible recipe, okay? You don't have to follow it exactly as it says here. So then I was sauteing my chicken. I threw in the garlic. Once it was cooked, I threw in the garlic, tossed in the garlic, and let that saute for about 30 seconds, just so that the garlic will, let out its aroma and be fantastic. Then I added the pasta sauce, and then I just let that cook, kind of heat through, and then I turned it off, okay? You're gonna preheat your oven to 400 degrees, all right? If you're gonna use your oven. If you're going to use an air fryer, you can, this will be ready in about half the time, okay? So if you're using an oven, it's gonna take about 35 minutes. If you're using an air fryer, then you're looking at maybe like 12 to 15 minutes, okay? All right, so we were ready with the chicken, okay? So I wanted to show you how to make the zucchini boats, okay? Because if you've never done this dish or tried the boats, it could be this is like the scary part, like I don't know what to do. So let me show you exactly what to do, which is super easy. I mean, you're gonna love these, okay? Let me start by showing you okay, good, you can see me here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is you're gonna cut off this side. Oh, and this is my chicken. Look how great that looks. It's really tasty, okay? So you're gonna cut off the ends first. So you're gonna wash them, you're gonna scrub them real good, and then you're gonna cut off the ends first, okay? And we're gonna cut this, you can cut it lengthwise here, but it's a little tricky for me. So I'm gonna cut this in half this way, and then lengthwise, okay? I like to make sure that they're kind of like really even, but that's just me, okay? So we're gonna do this to all 4 zucchini, all right? And now you can use anything to scoop out the seeds, all right? I'm using my little teaspoon, okay? But you can use a spoon. I mean, you can use anything to scoop it out. This I found is the perfect size to kind of just go in here, and it's not gonna, take out too much. Now you do want to leave about a 1/4 inch thick all around, so that the boat is sturdy. Okay, you don't want to make it a really skinny boat, and then nothing's gonna be, it's not gonna hold anything in there. So then you just go in there, and you kind of twist. Okay, so you want to get all the flesh out, and you want to get the seeds out. Okay, now this is a kind of a thinner zucchini, but there's bigger ones, and this this works even great there. So you're just gonna kind of scrape this out, scoop it out. I usually have I do have a little bowl here where I scoop out my garbage into. Same thing over here, okay? You're just gonna dig in a little bit, and then you're gonna scoop these out. They are super simple to make, and it is a delicious recipe. What I love is that it is very, very filling. Now, you can put the boats in first if you would like into the oven and just cook them a little bit. Into your air fryer just to cook them a little bit. Otherwise, they are kind of crunchy, okay? Now, you can eat zucchini raw, so it's up to your taste, what you like. If you want to make it, if you want to cook a little bit longer, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But these are super filling, super delicious, low carb meal. Okay, so like I said, if you saute your chicken, you can use ground chicken, you can use chicken breast and just dice it real fine. You can use leftover chicken. All right, you could use ground beef in this if that's what you have. But this is also a great recipe to use leftovers with, because you're going to saute the meat a little bit, and then you're going to add that pasta sauce, and it's going to take care of that flavor. Okay. All right, now what you're going to do, now that this is done, you can add a little bit of pepper if you want, a little bit of oil. I'm just going to put it in like this. And then what you're going to do is you are going to scoop your chicken into your little boat, just like that. All right. Now it might seem a little tedious, kind of like a lot of work, but let me tell you that these are so worth it. They are delicious, 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 especially this pasta sauce because it's spicy. But if you don't like spicy, or you're going to have your kids, then you don't have to use the spicy sauce. Okay. But this already smells amazing. If we were at the farm, you all would be like, can we have the sample now? Okay. Now, this is a perfect place to also sneak in some veggies if you would like, okay? You could saute the meat, or throw in the veggies and then throw in the meat. You could add onion to this. You could add zucchini. You can add red bell peppers. You could add a little bit of cauliflower. You could add mushrooms to this. You can just saute whatever vegetable you like, and you could also add to the filling for these zucchini boats, okay? So once you're here, what you're gonna do is you're going to add some cheese, okay? You can do the mozzarella and the Parmesan, okay? So I've been making these, so I'm a little short on mozzarella today, but just a little bit is enough. Or depending, if you really like cheese, then I guess you can add more, but do it to your taste. So you're gonna do this. And these are almost ready to go. So if you're using your oven, then just put it in your dish, in your baking dish. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you spray it, and then put these in your baking dish. And then what you're going to do is you are going to cover it. Okay, you're going to tent it. Obviously, don't let the foil stick to this. But they're going to be so good. They are so good. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the oven. Well, actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I already have a set made, so I'll show you in a little bit what the final product is, okay? Today, we're also going to be talking about zucchini, okay? If you have not used zucchinis too much before, if you are a newbie to it, it is fantastic. It packs a nutritious punch, okay? So a couple of the benefits is that it has a lot of nutrients, okay? It has vitamin B6, it has vitamin A, it has vitamin K, vitamin C, it has folate, manganese, potassium, magnesium. The list goes on. It has a bunch of minerals and vitamins in it, okay? It's high in antioxidants, so it benefits our eyes, our skin, our heart. It can aid in digestion. It may reduce blood sugar levels, okay, so it'd be great for type 2 diabetes. It can aid in weight loss because we're going to eat it and it has less calories, and because it has fiber, it helps us to feel fuller for a longer amount of time with the less calories. It's easy to add to our diet, okay? So it's easy to pack, to sneak it in or to make it a part of your everyday diet, because you can add it raw, you can slice it real thin, you can use like a mandolin and add it to your salads. You can chop it up and add it to any stew that you're making. You can saute it a little bit, or you can just add it to the stew like that, and it'll, add vegetable to it. It will add all of its, vitamins and nutrients to your dish, and it's not gonna like change the flavor so much where you're not going to like your dish or you're not going to recognize it. It's still going to be delicious. You can stuff them with this chicken that we just made, or you can stuff them with rice, or you can stuff them with beans. I mean, you can do it with ground beef. You could stuff them with lentils. It's just such a versatile vegetable and dish. Okay. You can stir fry them with a little bit of olive oil. Just chop them up, stir fry them with a little bit of olive oil and garlic. You can serve them as a side, grilled or sauteed. You can actually bread them and fry them if you would like. They taste great. You can make chips out of them. You can spiralize them into noodles. Have you heard of the zoodles? So the zucchini noodles, and you can substitute your pasta for zucchini noodles. If you do that though, just remember you don't have to cook it a very long time. The zoodles should be added at the very end of your dish because they only need to be cooked a little bit, and they're going to be thin anyway, so they're going to cook very quickly. Okay, so it's a super versatile vegetable that is delicious, that is very nutritious. It's going to give you all this good stuff that we need for our bodies. So it's fantastic. Okay, the topic that we had for today was is sodium. Okay, so salt. If you are, so there's three recommendations. There's two recommendations for the limits on sodium per day. And you know, sodium is found in a lot, many different places. Okay. Some of the places, let me just look here real quick. Sorry. Some of the places that we find it is, a lot of our canned foods, right? Or a lot of our ready to eat foods are going to have a ton of sodium because sodium helps stuff not to go bad, right? So anything that's canned, anything that's prepackaged, like those ready to eat, like the Hungry Men ones, lunch things. Okay, all that stuff, deli meats are going to have a ton of sodium. Okay, soda has sodium. Canned soups have sodium. You know, a lot of these things have sodium. Sodium has been sodium has been shown to affect our if you consume a diet that's high in sodium, you can have it may cause you to have high blood pressure, right? So it's in the books, right? Lots of things cause high blood pressure, but eating that diet high in sodium, that is one of the things that will kind of for sure do it. Okay, we want to try and kind of stay away from the sodium, right? Or reduce our intake of it, which will help our overall health immediately a lot, but it will also help to lower our chances of getting high blood pressure. Okay, hold on, I'm missing one more. Oh, here we go. All right. Right, the causes of high blood pressure. There's a bunch of contributing factors, but one way is consuming too much salt. Okay, in our body, wherever the water goes, the salt will follow. Okay, and vice versa. So when we sweat, you know, if you've ever tasted it, it's kind of salty, and that's our body's way of attracting water to the surface of our skin to help us cool down. All right. The same things when we eat anything, it gets broken down and then it enters our bloodstream. Once it's in our blood, the rest of our cells are going to release water, and then that water is going to rush into our blood vessels where the salt is. Okay, and that's what's going to cause the pressure on our blood vessel and artery walls. Okay, they're supposed to be like really limber so that they can flow with the flow of our blood. But when there's too much water in there, or there's all that water in there, what it causes them is to kind of like be very tight. And that's where that pressure is created. So it could make it easy, it could be easier for our blood vessels to be damaged. Okay. That causes pressure on the walls of our arteries. If there's too much pressure building up, it can damage the vessel and lead to either a heart attack or a stroke. Okay. So none of that is good. All right. Where can we find sodium? We can find it in, soups, in canned foods, frozen processed foods. There you go. That's what anyone's looking for. Processed meats, and lots of restaurant food, right? One of the main things that they add is a lot of salt, to make it really tasty so that you'll come back. So one way to control our blood pressure is to pay attention to the amount of sodium or salt that we consume. We can better control this by what? By cooking at home, all right? So because you're going to be able to control the quality of the ingredients, you're going to control what goes into your food and exactly how much of it is going into your food, all right? So our body does need some salt for things like muscle contractions, right? And to absorb the vitamins and minerals that we eat. But we don't need that much, okay? The minimum amount that our body needs is 500 milligrams. So that is a very tiny small amount, okay? But baseline, it's 500 milligrams per day, not per meal, I get that question a lot. All right. So the maximum daily sodium intake amount, there's two of them. Okay. One is 1,500 milligrams, and that is for people that already have high blood pressure, for people that are over 51, or for people that are African American, okay? So if you're in those three categories, your daily intake should be no more than 1,500 milligrams, okay? That's not a lot. We're talking very small amount, okay? All right. The other recommendation is 2,300 milligrams, okay? So if you're not in any of the first three categories, then the limit per day is 2,300 milligrams, okay? But the average person here in the United States is actually consuming around 3,500 milligrams of sodium, which is a ton more than what we need for our bodies, you know, and to keep healthy, okay? So I want you to look at your labels, check out your labels, look at what the sodium content is. I promise you that you will be very, very, very surprised as to how much salt is in a lot of the things that we're eating, okay? Especially prepackaged, frozen stuff, okay? But remember, there's a lot of salt also in like deli meats. So we have to, you know, be careful and try to limit what we can, right? Okay, so you will be surprised by the amount of salt that is found in a lot of these, in a lot of the foods that we eat, okay? But remember, now you have a baseline. Now you know what the numbers are, okay? We need, if you are over 51, if you already have high blood pressure, if you're African American, it's no more than 1,500 milligrams in a day, okay? Not per meal. And if you are not in those categories, so if you're under 51, if you don't already have high blood pressure, if you're not African American, then for you, the limit is 2,300 milligrams, right? But we're not talking a lot, all right? It's not a lot. And just to give you kind of a little bit of perception, right? You know those soups that they sell, those that you just pour water and, you know, boiling water and then let it sit. Okay, those have between 1,100 and like 1,500 milligrams of sodium, okay? And that's just one little, it's a small size, right? It's one little cup and it's one serving for one person that we can easily eat. And guess what? A little bit later, like 20 minutes, you're gonna be hungry again, all right? So remember that our veggie of the week for this week is zucchini, okay? Remember that it has all these healthy nutrients for our bodies that is gonna help us to be a little healthier. Vitamin B6, vitamin A, vitamin K, manganese, vitamin C, folate, magnesium, and potassium, which potassium is what can help to control high blood pressure, okay? It's also found in bananas. So if you like bananas, that's another thing. Remember that zucchinis are high in antioxidants, which can benefit our eyes, our skin, and our heart. Zucchini can help in digestion. It may help to reduce blood sugar levels. It can aid in weight loss because you're going to be feeling fuller with the zucchini that has lower calories. It's really easy to add to our diet. Remember, you can add it raw to salads, you can add it to stews, you can stuff it with rice, with beans, you can stuff it with lentils, you can do this chicken recipe that we did today, you can stir fry it in olive oil and a little bit of garlic, you can serve it as a side, grilled or sauteed, you can bread it and fry it, you can make it into chips, you can spiralize it into noodles to replace pasta. So it's a great, very flexible vegetable, all right? Okay, so we're done for today. I will see you. Remember, I'll be here every other Saturday at 10 o'clock for the English sessions and 11 o'clock for the Spanish sessions. Please come check it out. Every week will be a different recipe and we'll be going over different nutrition topics and of course our veggie of the week. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. Please be safe and I will see you soon.